Welcome everyone. This is the regular city council meeting for Monday, April 28th, 2025. I will call the meeting to order. We'd all stand up and say pledge of allegiance, please. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Can I have roll call, please, Cheryl?
Dylan Meyer?
Yes.
Adam Ryder?
Yes.
Matt Shorty?
Yeah. Okay, number 4, approval of the agenda. Any questions or comments with anything regarding that? If not, I will ask for a motion to approve as presented.
Make a motion to approve the agenda as presented.
Second? Second. And roll call, please.
Adam Ryder?
Yes.
Dylan Meyer?
Yep.
Matt Shorty?
Yes. Number 5, we can skip. Number 6, the consent agenda. Cheryl's got a couple, or at least one correction on there, right?
Yeah, it was brought to my attention that, since we are approving the meeting minutes from the previous meeting, that there was a mistype or misunderstanding on the West Side parking lot. It said the funding has been secured. The funding has not totally been secured. So I would like to have the consent agenda reflect the approval of those minutes with the changes, and then go ahead and strike the approval of the cement for Lindsley Quarries from because we approved them for the funding. So until everything's cut and
Yeah.
dried, we'll
Yeah.
amend. I'll put a correction to the minutes in these minutes, and then
Yeah. Yep.
Make a motion to approve the consent agenda with the changes as presented.
Okay. Second? Second. Roll call, please.
Matt Shorty?
Yeah.
Adam Ryder?
Yes.
Dylan Meyer?
Yes.
Number 7, discuss and consider action approving resolution 2024-27, approval of hiring Carson Fegan and setting salary for part-time summer general labor. Cheryl and Eric, right, just you two met with a few of the applicants a couple weeks ago, and this is who they are recommending we go with. I don't have any issues with, we didn't have any really issues with either of them. This was who they decided to go with, and so I think he'll do a good job and working along with the guys well. So no concerns on my end at all. I guess we need to figure out what we want to do as far as a salary. I think if we want to stick with last year's, or if we want to start them out.
I think we did roughly discuss that at the last meeting,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
14.
Yeah.
started at 14, same as what Connor got when he started.
Yep.
And then if he continues to possibly come back another year, we can add a dollar. But-
Yep.
So that was what the resolution is put in at 14.
Okay. Anybody have any discussion on that? I think it's pretty cut and dry. I think he'll do a good job. And, fit
So
right
when
in,
is-
so.
When is he looking to actually start?
When was it, May 18th or?
I think it's closer to the end of May.
Yeah,
Okay.
I told him he wants to start right as soon as he's done college, he can take a week off.
Yeah,
You
sure.
know what I mean? Just-
Right.
I don't want you to rush right in and jump in and
Yeah.
Right.
start working right away, so.
I think it's 27th, because 26th is a Monday, which is Memorial Day.
Okay. Okay. But he's not gonna be working 5 days a week anyway, right?
No.
Work 4 days. Okay. Okay. Yep, that sounds good.
Unless, I mean, 2 of us are gone or something.
Right.
Comes up, I
Right.
mean, 1 week out of the whole year, I mean, it's
Yeah.
not.
Yeah. Okay. That sounds good. Everybody good with the 14 an hour?
Yep.
Okay. Okay. Unless there's any other discussion needed, I'll ask for a motion to approve that resolution.
I'll make a motion to approve resolution 2024-27, hiring Carson Fegan at a starting salary of $14
please.
Dale Meyer.
Yes.
Matt Sharkey.
Yes.
Adam Ryder.
Yes.
Okay, number 8, discuss and consider action approving the donation of fence down at Peppermint Park. Matt and Tammy Peterson are going to graciously donate a privacy fence down at Peppermint Park in between Wilhelm's and the park there. When we did the sidewalk last year, I had them bump that out just in case we ever decided to do something like this. And with their help, we're gonna get it done here this summer. So that'll be a nice little addition down there to kind of separate a little bit. I think probably
Do we need to get exact property line information?
No, it's actually, when I was talking to Matt, he had them go down there and look at it when they were there, when they were in town. And it looks like, they're gonna hold it back an inch or so off the edge of that concrete, so it might come into the sidewalk just a hair, but
Okay,
said it
so
shouldn't
it's
be.
not, it's not gonna be.
No, it's gonna be right on that,
Approved, Yeah.
yeah, it's gonna be right on that concrete, so
Okay.
we shouldn't need anything else down there, so. I don't have exact measurements or.
No, I just didn't want a dispute between property lines.
Yeah.
What do you guys mow with there? You have to mow on both sides of that fence then?
We usually, it's about a lawnmower's path now.
Or like a rider's wood
Yeah,
or whatever?
yeah.
whether-
Right now,
Yeah.
I mean, we might just cheat a little bit, we gotta push more too if we have to take it up there.
Yeah.
We'll make it work.
So yeah, we just wanted to put that out there that, make sure everybody knew, that was in the works, so I don't have an exact date or anything, but it'll be this summer. So, we need a motion on that?
I did have it on the agenda as an action to approve, so yes.
Okay. Okay, unless there's any other questions or discussion, I'll ask for a motion to approve the donation of the fence.
Make a motion to approve the donation of the fence for Peppermint Park by Matt and Tammy Peterson.
Second?
Second.
And roll call, please.
Adam Ryder.
Yes.
Dale Meyer.
Yes.
Matt Sharkey.
Yeah.
Number 9, West Side Park, parking lot, discuss and consider approval for funding. So like we said, we talked about this last meeting, and Cheryl, if you kinda wanna update kind of where we sit, it was in the packet. Nancy had put some numbers together, and I think
Yeah.
Cheryl, you did too, so.
I did, after a few more conversations today with Nancy, it does look like now the cement project will be roughly $235,000 and $5,000 short to do all the trees and the entire length of the one row parking space. So they are asking, the council to consider donating towards that project or paying a portion of it. I put in the packet, we do have funds left in road use. Kind of in yellow here, we had budgeted $645,000 in road use last year, we've only spent $498, so we have plenty of unspent road use. I know we're trying to build funds for future projects, but that would be one place, and there is also a little money left in our streets budget, so I think between the two of them, if we would consider having that parking spot, they've done all the donations, it's probably, I would say, a small investment for what the city's getting in return.
Sure.
Kind of a goodwill,
Yeah.
you know what I mean?
Yeah, I'm good with it.
Yeah, if that's what it's gonna, I don't think holding it up or doing a partial of it is worth.
Right.
If they're there, you might as well just do it.
Yeah, we were down there double measuring again today, me and Nancy, just to make sure our length and width, and all that stuff was correct, so.
Okay.
She was supposed to meet with Butt, she told me this last weekend, but he forgot it was his wife's birthday, so we better not miss that, he said.
No, that's kind of.
I think he's talked to them since you.
Yeah, roughly gave him the measurements and stuff like that, so I think he's gonna get back to her.
Yeah. Okay.
But we double checked everything this morning, remeasured.
They're like 3,500 short?
Between 35 and 5,000. They're still getting a few donations straggling in and waiting for final numbers from, depending on how many trees they plant. And so still a lot of jiggling,
or something, we can cover the difference, or,
Right.
what do they bring in, $750 to $1,000 a month in cans or something, something crazy.
Something like that.
So if we can't do concrete for a month, 2
Yeah,
months.
and they'd even be willing to pay us back from Kim, and yeah, so that just doesn't work with the.
Yeah, that's what yeah,
It's just easier to.
yeah.
My only, she said she wanted, when did she want to start this?
Well, if Quinn gets a muddy day where it's too muddy somewhere else, he may do it fairly soon.
Oh, really?
So-
I just don't want her doing it during fall, or baseball and softball games,
Right.
you know,
Right.
and stuff like
I
that.
think she
so.
said she asked Josh for the schedule, but the schedule's not
It
done.
ain't done yet.
Yeah.
Cause I said maybe there's a week where there's no games.
Yeah.
And Quinn said from the conversation that I had after work with her, that it was, Quinn didn't see a problem with getting that during ball games.
Okay.
I mean, cause, yeah, you can't drive on it, so it'll be blocked off with that, but kids walking across it is not gonna,
Yeah,
it sets up fairly quickly, so.
so, that was my only concern,
Yeah, no, it's not a bad idea, you know, sort of something to think about at least.
time it right, and.
Yeah, yeah.
We'll have girls playing out there this year, so.
Yeah, I mean, it's gonna be hard now, we're getting to a bad time of the year.
Well, the goal was to get it done before Preston Day,
Right,
so.
right.
We'll make it work.
Yeah, yeah. Okay. Yeah, no, I mean, I'm good with chipping in a little bit, I don't have an issue with that. I don't see a reason to hold it up or do a partial for that amount of money, so. And like you said, by the time they get around to doing it, maybe they get a few more donations or cans in or what, you know, whatever, so, okay, well, if everybody's good with that, somebody wanna make a motion to
You can,
okay. Make a motion for the approval of the funding.
I'll make a motion to approve the funding up to $5,000 for West Side parking lot.
Do we need to specify coming out of road use, or doesn't it matter? Okay. Okay, second,
Second.
and we'll call please.
Delmeyer,
Yeah.
Adam Ryder,
Yes.
that's right.
Yeah.
Number 10, review and consider approval of budget amendment, for fiscal year 24 and 25.
I worded that a little, incorrectly on the agenda. We don't have to actually approve this yet. We will approve it next meeting after we hold the public hearing.
Oh,
Then we'll have a resolution approving it then.
okay,
But I just wanted to review it real quick with you.
yeah.
As far as what the amendment consists of. The revenues are at the top, on line 6, the middle column, $16,000 in other city taxes. It just looked like there were gonna be more local option sales tax coming in than was originally budgeted for. Use of money in property was an extra $14,000, and that was for, West Side Park improvement donations and Preston Growth and Development events donations that I didn't think of budgeting for at the time. Use of money in property, line 8. No, yeah, but, okay, line 8, $5,200 were the police grant that they got for the overtime, and the fire department had a grant, so. Those were extra revenues. Intergovernmental, charges for service, line 10, that was for the police, taking on the miles and the school resource officers, amendment of 57,860. Miscellaneous was for, fire department had an insurance claim on the roof, so I'm in for the revenues we took in from the insurance claim, and I also have to amend for the expenses that go out, just to show it was a wash. And there was, what else, was also, we sold the wood chipper for $1,300, so that was included in that. Transfers in were, $59,427 from the squad car, interfund loan, and $30,700 for out-of-debt service for the McNeil loan payment, and transfers in from the library trust. We closed out the library trust account so they could pay for the air conditioner that was needed on the road. That was the transfer on that. Expenditures, line 16 for public safety was the $50,300 for salaries for the police, $8,550 for FICA waivers, $25.95 for health insurance, $1,000 for travel and conference, $3,100 in extra property liability insurance, and then $34,000 in capital for the squad car. So the total for the police extra expenditures was $95,500. Fire department, we had more work comp payments. Work comp was more than what was budgeted for. Then you had the roof of $42,000 and then insurance, so $47,525. So those two together is $143,025. Public Works, all the other public works departments, water, sewer, gas, electric, were all good. I did put $80,000 in for, that I didn't budget out of water, 40 out of water and 40 out of sewer for the McNeil. No, for the Marvin payment for the land, sorry. Culture and Rec is parks. We had paid for those doors both out of the same fiscal year, so that was an additional $9,800. Motor vehicle operation expenses were up a little, utilities were up a little, and insurance was up. So that ended up being, Culture and Rec ended up being like $53,400. General government, I think that would, I think I'm gonna have to redo an amendment, because I'm pretty sure that should have been a negative, because we were under in that, and you can amend by a negative amount, but I'll have to revisit that, but it's kind of a summary of what the amendment is so far, and I need to make corrections or add any additions. We may have to have another amendment before the end of the year, so. This had to be sent to the paper Friday because our public hearing is the 12th, and for those publication deadlines, it just didn't work out to wait till tonight, so.
So do we need to have that squared away before we have our public hearing then?
I don't wanna delay it as far as this, because we still have time to do another amendment.
Okay.
I would rather do it that way, and that
Okay.
way it's not, cause it's already gonna be in the paper.
Okay, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, that's fine, just so we're.
It'll just be a short, quick amendment for those, a couple changes
Okay.
that I didn't catch the first time around. And anything that, between now and then, we keep spending money. I know I ran through it pretty quick, but if you have any questions, let me know.
Okay.
And like I said, we're not really approving it, this is just what.
Yeah, yeah. Okay, do we have any questions for Cheryl with anything on there? Okay. Do you want us to approve it tonight? No?
We'll just have the public hearing, then it'll be officially approved by resolution at the next meeting.
Okay. That works. Okay, let's do the discussion again. We'll jump down to 11. Discussion and consider approval for street repairs and maintenance. Review of quotes, including seal coating, crack sealing, park restrooms, and the city shed. So Eric's been getting with some different companies here the last month or so, and getting some bids for the different stuff that we kind of talked about this winter during budget season. Trying to just get stuff lined up for the summer, basically. Eric, I don't know if you want to add anything, or?
thing that might change on, this is the crowd, the seal coat. That second line, school from Maine all the way to the end of town. We're not gonna quite go all the way to the end of town.
Okay.
If we do, me and Matt drove around, to Peterson, and
Mm-hmm.
probably go just past the bridge where Olson's house is.
Yep,
That's where it seems to be the worst,
okay,
and we'll just consider that down the rest of it another year.
gotcha, okay.
But a lot of them are smaller, like the parking spots, like on this, like we own the back of these buildings, like the stuff
Right.
that never got done when the alley got done.
Right,
Cause it wasn't budgeted in, the ambulance drive is getting pretty bad.
yeah, I seen that the other day.
Yeah, and then the one that's Grant Street, that's where Jesse's entrance is. And that's getting a
Oh.
lot of traffic anymore, so I'd like to keep up on that one. It's a short stretch, so it's not like it's,
Right.
and I didn't do anything with West Side Street, or West Street, because I don't know what he was doing with the equipment bringing in and out of there, so. But we can worry about that one next year, so. That 12, mate, it's gonna be probably not quite half,
Okay.
but I just need, don't I just tell him when he gets here, don't do this section, you know, just
Yeah,
we'll get together. So I'd probably say it'd be closer to 8.
was that the only quote then for? the
Jax has always
seal
told me,
coating?
and even Matt goes, they ain't gonna beat anybody else gonna beat that.
Okay,
Ella Pellings has been doing it for years, and,
yeah,
you know, even Matt goes, it's not even worth getting
okay.
another one with them, because he knows how many, he knows what their price is.
Yeah, yeah. Okay,
So I just need them to go ahead to let them know that, to go ahead and do it, plan it, get it, but then you'll get it
right,
into their works.
right. Okay, yeah, that one's pretty cut and dry then.
And then the crack sealing would be from the highway up to School Street, from Mom and Dad, and then School Street all the way out. School Street needs to be done,
Yeah,
they're starting to open up pretty good.
yeah,
And then Main Street's a good street and it hasn't been done in a while.
okay,
I just been going by what streets we spray a lot of weeds in. you
yeah,
know,
yeah, yeah,
And it ain't like, Main Street ain't like Mitchell Street, I mean, it's a
Right.
pretty good road yet,
Right.
to keep it that way.
right, right, yeah, I would agree.
But then Eastern Iowa was the cheapest on that one, I believe.
Yeah,
By
yeah,
quite a bit,
they were-
actually.
Yeah, you did get a couple bids on that, I included them both in the package, just so you know that
Yeah.
Eastern Iowa was the lower
Yeah.
of the two.
Have we used them in the past for this?
Usually Manats, but he goes, they were way cheaper than Manats.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
And when I called him, I said, if we do it, you got the bid, you know, he was surprised. Usually Manats blows them out of water, but I don't know why. And he actually says they grind out the cracks and refill them, and it ain't just a go over, you know?
Right, right. Yeah, no, that's,
Okay.
I'm good with that. What else is?
Bethany's on Mitchell Street down south of.
Well, that's a different quote in there, yeah.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
further down than that.
So then, yeah, so that's, okay, so that's seal
Crack
coating.
sealing, yeah.
And then crack sealing.
Gotcha.
And then the next
Cheryl
one.
might not have she don't have that patchwork, but that's, we can put it in there if you want, I guess, look at it
I
anyways.
did put the Mitchell Street in one, but, Tyler sent me a picture that
An updated one, yeah, he's,
Yeah, so Matt got with Quint on that, cause he had some questions on his,
Yep.
his bid. So,
well, I
Quinn.
don't know,
Quinn just got back to us here, like, right before the meeting, and revised it.
to 10-2.
Yeah, so he came in with Mitchell Street at 10-2. What did we change?
which is taking the,
He's taking the last, I don't know why he ever needed a.
He's taking the sealer off and the belt truck, and then,
Gotcha,
what
that
else
drops it
was,
down.
there was something else too. The top a little bit.
Oh, tear out.
Oh, the tear out and haul away, dropped.
I don't know if he was, I don't know what Matt told about him.
Yeah, I don't know what they had all talked about, but Matt had told me that he had got with Quinn, like I said, he just had some questions on it.
Yeah.
And, yeah, so Quinn just got back to us, so yeah, he came back in with a revised quote at 10-2. Even if you wanna call it 10-3.
Yeah.
Um,
And then for the sewer part of it, it's, I talked to Marbury, as long as I dig it, he said $500 at the most.
okay,
But that'll come out of Tim's budget anyway, so it's not like,
yeah,
and it's getting split between the homeowner and the city, so.
okay. haven't wanted to really tear into that thing, cause we just didn't know how much of a mess we were getting into,
Yeah.
but it's actually working out well now, so.
That's the only street patching I have for, besides one of our water main leaks.
Yeah.
The seal coat will take care of the one.
I was gonna say, that's what I was gonna ask about.
The seal coat will take, they'll fill that in blacktop until the seal coat up there, so.
Okay.
We'll
And
take care
back
of
to
one.
the road use spreadsheet, for fiscal year 26, we did get, we put 25,000 in for seal coating, 11,500 for crack sealing, 10,000 for sidewalks, and 12,500 for street patches. So all those quotes are within what we,
So we can do that this budget year yet then?
not
No,
this year,
next
that's
year.
No,
what-
next year, yeah,
yeah,
okay,
yeah.
okay.
We just want to get them in the books to let them know that,
Cause they're calling me wondering if they got it, when they're trying to set their schedules for the year and
Yeah.
stuff, so.
Yeah.
Just kinda got it out here to get approval, to say, yeah, go ahead and
Yeah,
go from there.
yeah, yeah. No, that sounds good. And then the last thing, the last couple things is the, down by, at Too Good, the park restrooms. We talked about tearing that old
Yep.
crappy concrete out of there and repouring that, so,
And but, I mean, I got two quotes, but they're pretty damn close to the same, so
yeah.
I was just stick with butt, but.
yeah.
So is that one that he thinks that they could get to before the Fireman's Festival then?
I could talk to him, and if he can hold the building off until July, I could talk to him about that. That'd be a good idea.
Yeah, that'd be the biggest thing.
I could talk to him tomorrow
Yep.
about that.
That, and then the last one was the city shed. We talked about that at budget season, pouring a nice
Yeah.
slab out in front of it, so we got a little bit of.
And it's just, yeah, it's money, nice, I mean, it's.
Yeah, it just helps with everything.
Yep, and that, I mean, I had two quotes for that, and one was, I don't know why he was so much higher, but a couple grand higher, but about was still cheaper.
Yeah.
64 to 97.
Yeah, I don't know why he was closer on all the other stuff, I don't know why he was so much higher on
Yeah.
that. I don't get, unless the
Yeah.
rebar is a little closer, I don't know.
How big of a skirt was that? How far away?
25,
Well,
25?
25 out in the width of the building.
That's big enough, I don't know how big.
25 by 36,
Yeah.
it says here.
36 wide,
Yeah.
and then a little, like around the door.
Yeah, a little 10 by 4 patch.
Is that big enough to park our
Yep.
garbage truck on and all be on the pad? Okay,
I mean, the nose may be in the front, but that's
gotcha. I was
kind
just thinking
of what,
for washing
that's
out.
what Buck's kinda like, you want it bigger than you think you want it, cause then,
Yeah, then if you pull up and wanna wash the truck or something like that, it's all on the concrete.
yep.
And not nose right up to the building.
Yeah.
But that's split between all the departments, it's just not, they don't come out of road use, they don't come out of streets, nothing like that, everybody's department's paying for it.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess, the only thing I had with the Mitchell Street was just the fill, because
I mean, we usually haul it for him.
yeah, I guess I'm just concerned, let's see.
Said Phil not included in price or something,
Yeah.
or something like that.
I think all of his bills have been like, 'cause
Yeah.
you never know what you're gonna eat up.
But the only thing with, the other one is he had rock included in it.
For the shed one?
Yes.
Oh.
No, for Mitchell Street,
Oh,
sorry.
okay.
Yeah, for Mitchell, and then, Quinston didn't
Yeah,
fill.
we usually, if it's a street ply, we usually haul it for them, and
Yeah.
they just charge us anyway, so.
Yeah, my only fear with that is when we get into that,
We're gonna good fill.
we're gonna need some fill in
Yep.
there, so,
And it's pretty cheap getting it, if we do it ourselves.
yeah, yeah.
It's a lot cheaper.
I say, I feel like it's it can't be $2,000 worth.
No, I
Or
think it's
10,
only like,
3 to
I don't know,
12 maybe.
I just seen the last bill like 250, like a truck, semi-load or a dump truck load of ours.
Yeah.
$250, I mean, that's us hauling.
Yeah, and they're what, $2,500 more expensive.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, so that's the only difference that, in
$2,500 is a lot of fill.
in the bidding, so.
That's the roll of the dice, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I think we budgeted enough ahead just in case something would happen. Since he
Yeah,
dropped
well,
his- He
yeah.
dropped his price too, so I mean, that helps.
Right, exactly, yeah, we have wiggle room now,
Yeah.
so, yeah, it's not, I just wanted to make sure everybody was aware, so. Okay, so is everybody good with the quotes?
Moving
and
forward with them?
Moving forward with kind of just going with the lowest bids? Okay. Eric can get with them
Yep,
and,
I'll start getting
get
it
them-
squared away. I'll see if Buck get there before Preston days, at least for the bathrooms.
That would be nice.
I ain't a real big project, so I don't see why I wouldn't, a couple of days you can have it done.
Yeah, be nice to have that.
Yep, yep, I agree.
Yep. All right, sounds good. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
You want,
Do we need a motion?
no, I just, oh no, I lost track of that. Just think about the next couple of things, if Eric would just stick around. for-
Oh, I ain't going nowhere.
Okay. Okay.
Okay, so we kinda talked about 12 and 13 there
Yeah.
with those, so let's jump down to 14. Consider approval of town hall door replacement. So what are we
This is
thinking?
the same guy that did the bathroom doors,
Okay,
so it'll be a steel door like that with a window and push bar and.
I guess my only question is, I don't know if we talked about it at budget time, maybe we did, I don't remember now. But is this the time now, you know, thinking about this, if we wanna do something different down there and kinda not spruce it up or fancy it up, but do something maybe more aesthetically pleasing than just a regular steel door down there? That was my first thought was, before we jump into this, maybe we wanna rethink a little bit and see what everybody wants to do down there.
And I feel like the things that are being held there are, you know, pretty nice events too, so. I mean, you think you got the parade of trees, you got the Hall of Fame ceremonies, you got prom. I don't think it's a terrible idea to.
Thinking like a fancy wood door, or? I don't know, I don't really have anything specifically in mind, I guess, I'm just thinking something.
More than just a gray steel door
Right,
with a little window.
right,
I would agree.
right. And maybe, I don't know,
I can't imagine it'll cost that much more to.
Yeah, I don't know what it is. They don't
Really can't
know.
change the size of it, can you? That's
I,
kind
we
of peaked
can't,
out.
because the electrical, all the switching, and we
Yeah.
do all electrical, there ain't much, there ain't nowhere,
Yeah, no.
from the door to the bathroom to the kitchen, there ain't,
yeah,
Where
there's
do
not
you
a
go? You can't
whole
go
lot of
anywhere
room
with it.
there.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
But I didn't know, even if we wanted to look at too, and this is just me talking out loud, but I know like around the door is kinda, it's just the old
like,
wood
yeah.
paneling kinda stuff, like if
Well,
we wanna.
and Ray told me too, that framework needs reconstructing and.
Right, so we're gonna be ripping into that anyway,
Yeah.
so.
I'm
We
all
don't have a
for
handicap
sprucing it up a
button,
little
do we?
bit.
What's that?
No,
Yeah,
We don't have like a handicap button or something for getting in and out? I don't know what that
Be
would
an
take
idea.
Yeah.
to put in. I mean, it's a ramp, so there's no
Right.
stairs there, so.
Right, right, yeah, I mean technically it is right now, ADA compliant. I'm thinking the door's wide enough on that right now.
It
It is
It's
now,
pretty wide.
yeah.
Yeah.
Whatever, I don't know, he's got a door on there, I don't
Yeah.
know why it is on there already, but.
So, maybe I don't know,
Hold off on that.
let's not jump into this just
That's
quite
fine.
yet. Let's kinda talk about this a little bit more, maybe we can put it on the next agenda and maybe we can kinda talk, get everybody's idea. You know, think about it, see what everybody kinda wants to do as far as maybe what are some options down there.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm all for sprucing that up, even like you said, the wood paneling and stuff, I think. You said for the events that get held in, I mean, weddings.
Yeah, if we're talking about replacing the door anyway, I think now's the time to.
We've done the back door already, didn't we?
Yeah, I mean, they did that back door,
That's what I
that
thought.
goes on the downtown deck,
Yeah, and I think that was fine, just being a.
this is a.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I remember there was talk that you could see daylight through it or whatever. I
Yeah.
can't remember if we replaced it or not.
Yep, we took care of that one.
Yeah, that's just an emergency door, so that doesn't
Yeah.
need anything fancy, but yeah, I think now's the time to really
I
look
would
into
agree.
doing something a little bit different.
Probably find somebody to do it, it's ridiculous.
I know, that's the worst part about it.
I can't get people, he's the only I can get to show up.
Yeah, that's the sad part about it. So let's table this if we can, and then we'll talk about it next meeting. And yeah, I guess in the meantime, I guess everybody kind of be thinking on what might be a good thing down there, so. Okay, so let's hold off on that. Let's jump down to other business. Sidewalks update. So there was an example in the packet of, a letter. I guess the ladies, you guys are probably looking for some direction from us.
We had mentioned at the last meeting to, go ahead and utilize the text alert system that careful on how many, can't get too wordy,
Okay.
otherwise it doubles the amount of text messages that goes out.
Oh, okay.
And this was just a suggestion that Tracy put together on, what to do for a second letter. And, or we could post this on their doors, because as we know, it's cheaper to do that than to try to send it registered,
It's like $9 a registered letter, so
so.
How many do we have to do? Is that 30 amount?
30 of them.
I was gonna say,
So I mean, that's,
How many of the 30 have reached out to us?
I think maybe 8 total.
Are we still gonna send this to the 8?
I would, I mean, because they haven't done anything,
Yeah, sure.
you know what I mean?
Sounds like a good Carson job.
It's getting done. It's getting done this week.
On the door. He's quick, he's young, still great.
Then
I'm
we
used to
could've
it.
picked up the,
The only thing is also by putting it on the door, some of them are rental properties, so the renter's gonna get it, not the actual, you know what I mean?
Yeah, that's gonna be the
Is
issue.
the other.
Road trip.
Well, I would think if I was renting a place and I seen that on my door, I think the first person I'd be calling is the landlord.
I would agree.
I think they'd be the first one to be in contact and more likely to answer a phone call from a tenant than the city hall.
Unless the tenant's up, that ain't my problem.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. If it was me, I'd be like,
Yeah.
I mean, we could mail them and or like regular mail without, you know, trying in.
What's everybody's thoughts about, like a date? I know we've had kind of different discussion on that, as far as what,
about how much leeway do you give them as long
Right.
as they're making
We've had, what, a
it
month
to-
and a half so far,
Yeah.
since March 12th?
March 12th.
Pretty much a
is when
month and a
we
half.
made The last ones.
And that's not, that's just the worst of the worst, there's a lot more.
I know, I know. I mean, do we wanna, I don't know, it's kinda hard, you know, if you'd go, you know, I don't know, if you go 6 months, if you go a year, you know, if you go a year, then you're into March, you know, and probably not a lot's gonna be getting done between November and March.
Yeah, that's the hard part. I mean, you've got probably another 3 months worth of, I guess longer than that.
Yeah, you probably got another 5 months or
5
so.
months to get it done before the weather turns.
And I don't, you know, you wanna give them enough time to where, you know, if they need to, you know, figure out something, you know, for cost wise, you know, you hate to give them like 30 days, you know, and dump them, you know,
Yeah.
a $2,000 bill on their lap too, like that's not what we're trying to do with this either, by any means, but, we're just trying to figure out a way to address these issues. And like you said, I mean, they're some of the worst of the worst, that's why, you know, we kinda went around and picked out, you know, the ones that needed addressed fairly soon. I mean, what would be 6 months? You go 6 months, you go 9 months,
go with a calendar year.
Just if
or you go,
give them a year.
yeah, or you go a calendar year.
Say, hey, till January 1 of 26,
You have this long to
needs-
turn in the paperwork.
this needs to be taken care of. So we get a week December, maybe some point in December.
Right. Yeah, the last couple Novembers.
Yeah.
It's just, it's a sidewalk, it's not like it's a house foundation, you know.
Yeah.
Pour it hot.
Yeah, you'll be fine. They know a lot about concrete.
So are you thinking we go January 1
I
of
would agree.
26?
Yep.
Okay.
So then what if, like, say January 1st comes, then what's the next steps?
I think as soon as we can get someone in there, we just do
Hire
it.
somebody to do it, and we pay for cement, and they pay for the rest.
Yeah, cause then down lower, it says if the sidewalk is not repaired by this date, the city of Preston will proceed with the, repair work and the total cost, will be assessed.
I mean, is it fair to pay for the cement?
Well, that's what the program does, so they can utilize that program.
I would say that's for the people who actually contact
That's what I'm saying, like, if no one
Yeah.
makes any effort.
Yeah, I get that,
Then
yeah.
I don't know that we need to pay, I mean, Jesus,
If we're gonna do that, we might as well just done it right away.
it's probably 5 blocks to City Hall and it took 2 seconds to fill out the paperwork,
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
it takes literally nothing to do it, like.
Mhm.
Make an effort to come in. If it didn't just work out, we can use the funding. If there's just no contact.
That's kind of my biggest.
There was
thing is
no
that-
effort on.
Yeah, if there's some effort to communicate, like, hey.
Yeah, absolutely, then
Yeah,
we'll give them a
then-
break, but
Yeah,
just to sit there and do
Not really.
absolutely nothing.
right.
Couple
For another
certified
8
letters,
months,
couple door
yeah.
knocks.
Or not just, yeah, 8 months.
Yeah, if they don't respond at all, you know, by January first of next year, then I think, yeah, it's like,
It's
we
like
made
it's-
every effort to try and work with you.
It would take 5 minutes to get down here, fill it out, and,
Right,
Make an attempt.
absolutely, that's all I'm saying.
Right.
I'll make a phone call to, hey,
Yeah.
can you put that in the put it into my mailer?
yeah, cause I'd be fine
I
with,
can't make it to City Hall during business hours, put it in my mailer or something.
Yep.
yeah, I'd be fine with, you know, if somebody said, hey, I wanna do it, you know, maybe there's not enough money left in the sidewalk program, but, you know, I'd be committed to doing it next year.
Yeah,
Like,
like,
where we can
and we
budget
kinda
more.
talked about that, where,
Yeah.
you know, we said, hey, if there's all of a sudden there's 20 of them, it's like, okay, let's take the first 10, and then
Right.
we have the next 10 for next year, and just keep building it out like
Yeah.
that. And we can budget more for next year, maybe we can fit, you know, say we get 20 of them in, well then,
Right.
okay, now maybe we budget for 10 this, you know, we have 10 this year, now maybe next year we budget for 20 or something.
You know, yeah, that to me, yeah, communication's key. It's like,
Absolutely.
yeah, we wanna work with them, but, you know,
The
if there's
amount
no
of
effort.
just the cement is not $1,000 a
No.
piece. I mean, so you can get up to probably double that, 40 sidewalks done for our side of the program. You know what I mean,
Mhm.
for the $10.
Yeah. How do you invoice them? Is it gonna be kinda like our curb and gutter part of the program, right? If they didn't have the funding for it, they're making payments and we're just gonna float the note?
Like we did on Amos Street or whatever.
Yeah. I mean, I don't.
Unless we would submit it as an actual, if they are property owners, we're willing, we can submit it as a lien on their property against their taxes.
Gotcha.
Or we can attempt to have them pay it.
Right, have to
Perfect.
pay
I
it.
like the lien on the taxes.
I mean, if they don't pay it within so many days, we,
Yeah, I think we should go that way, you know, give them a month or two or whatever to pay it, and then after that,
Yeah, I don't think.
Or
we
a
should-
month
we
or
shouldn't
two
have
at
to
least,
float that
like-
note.
or a month or two to at least be like, hey, I'm trying, here's a little bit.
Yeah, I think we kinda handle it like we did the.
I completely agree.
Yeah, the curb and gutter, I think if they come in and make an attempt and wanna, you know, if they work out something, some kind of a payment plan, you know, that's totally fair, and I don't think we have an issue doing that. Again, it's all communication.
Yep.
If there's no communication there, then, yeah, I mean, I think it just gets assessed to the taxes, and
I would agree.
it's, you know.
One question I had about the sidewalk program in general, like, you know, how, have we figured out like how people do it for corner lots? You know, cause they would have double
They had
sidewalk.
double sidewalks, yeah.
So, but I don't think it would be able to fit within the funding per house to be able to do the whole, for someone that had 2
Yeah.
sidewalks.
Yeah,
it
yeah, yeah.
should, it's only just the concrete portion.
Okay,
Yep.
So we'd up to $1,250,
$1,250,
yeah.
okay.
And
Even
concrete.
people with a double lot, you know, kind of same thing, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It'd be a lot closer, but it'd be,
Yeah,
I still
it's-
think
okay.
it would be
I
under the
think we're
12,
still safe.
12 lot.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Why are you looking at buying a corner lot?
No. I just know someone in the corner lot who's looking at replacing the sidewalk and they're like, oh.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I already
but-
had a corner lot. I'm
Yeah.
off that now.
And so I guess, you know, kinda like I reiterated, you know, before, it's some of the worst of the worst, you know, it's not like, just going around hand picking, you know, hand choosing, you know, whoever.
It's not like we're just going after people who don't.
Correct,
You know,
correct,
it's-
it's things that need addressed, and the program has been, ongoing for, 3 or 4 years at least now.
Yeah.
So.
It's nothing new.
It's just getting to the point where we have to start taking steps, action steps in my mind, to address these issues,
Cause
because.
have we ran out of funding like in a year? Exactly, so it's not like, It's not like we had guys, people come in and turn them away because we didn't have any more funding, so it's like.
Like what, 7 or 8 a year or something like that, I don't think we've ever had.
Well, I don't
And that's what I'm saying, like, it's not like there's been a bunch of people that have come in and like, hey, wanna do that? I go, no, sorry, you can't, we're out of funding, like.
Right.
We've had 5 years of talking about this, it's not like we're just springing this on everybody now, it's like, hey, we've given the entire community plenty of time. This could be liable for us, let's get it out of the way, let's do this now.
Okay, so, I guess getting back to the letter, we'll put in the January 1 of 26, and then, do we need a dollar amount in there, or how does
No,
that?
I don't think so. I think that was just a,
That's gonna be case
That's
by
a
case.
suggestion, I didn't know if we,
Yeah,
yeah.
or do we put the 1250 in there?
well, we thought we'd put back in like the program, how much it pays, but
Okay.
I think we need to come up with a price, of how much we're gonna charge, you know what I
It's
mean?
always gonna be different too.
Right,
Yeah.
so
Right.
like a price
Per square foot
or
or linear foot.
something, yeah.
Yeah, that's probably how you're gonna do it.
I would just do it per linear foot, yeah.
Of tear out all the way in.
Yeah,
And we
probably
have
just
the
ask
whole-
Bud, hey,
Every-
what do you get a linear foot for what is it, 4 foot wide sidewalk?
4 foot wide,
Yeah. X amount per foot. That's it.
they're all the way in, I can call them that too.
Some of the quotes we've received already have that on there,
What's that?
so the cost per linear.
Oh,
foot,
yeah,
To
yep.
give us an idea.
Yep. Yeah, that's the easiest, cause like, yeah, they're not on the same.
And you could just say of roughly, I mean,
Right.
you know, concrete
About
could fluctuate,
200
it could
pounds.
fluctuate, you know, could fluctuate next year, I don't know. Cost of cement doesn't seem to be going down.
Nothing's going down.
Nothing's going down.
So,
Maybe we'll just draft a final letter for the.
yeah,
Yeah.
let's do that, yeah, let's draft a
Before
final
we
letter, and
send
then
it
we'll approve it next meeting, and
And
then,
did the text alert sound good? We can do that at any time.
Yeah, that at any time we can see if there's a text alert.
yeah, what was that?
It just said, we emailed you a letter, contact us.
Yeah, there was no hard dates or anything in there, right?
Yeah.
Perfect, then, yeah, I think.
I just think we need to utilize it,
Send it
that's what
out.
we got it for, let's double quick text out there.
Yep.
One more way for them to say, hey, you know, to go back, if they say, oh, I never knew anything about this, like,
Right,
Right.
pretty easy documentation that way.
and hopefully we have everybody's phone number.
We
that-
kinda went through there to do like 5 or 6, that's not a cell phone number.
Okay.
Okay, everybody good with that? Okay. We'll have that then on the next meeting too, so. Okay, scholarship award, what do you got on that, Therese?
I applied for that clerk school scholarship and was awarded it for, reimbursement once I completed classes, so. Yay.
I think we did skip over the nuisance update.
Oh, shoot, I did,
That was a-
sorry.
I just wanted to let you know that, Marla Quinn through DCIA has agreed to come at the May 12th meeting and do a presentation on the update.
Awesome, perfect. Good deal. Okay, skid loader, the new quote on that. I know we got talked about last meeting about the differences there on those two. I guess, I'm kinda, I don't know, right now, I guess, kinda feel like we're kinda grasping at something that, you know, maybe we don't need, you know, we don't have the money for it yet right now anyway. So let's not jump into buying something that might not completely fit what we're needing. So we have a little bit of time, that's kind of my thoughts on it here lately is maybe let's just pull back on it for a minute and not that we can't keep looking to see what's out there, I'm not saying that by any means, but, you know, I'm in the camp of, I don't think we need to, you know, once July 1 comes, we need to have something locked and ready to go. I mean, if something comes up, great, if What's
My
everybody's
concern is if
thoughts?
we're looking at buying a used one, I don't think we're gonna find a better used one than the one they're
And
talking
that's
about.
exactly why you brought it up now, because this is gonna probably be the best use one you're ever gonna come across.
From previous owner and what it is.
Absolutely.
Somebody say this one's, like size wise, this one's pretty huge for what we need, like is this a pretty big machine?
What do you plan on using the skid loader for mainly?
Lots of things.
I mean, like, we're not gonna go clear sidewalks with it or anything.
No, streets, but like when we do patchwork, we got a skid loader, I mean, you try using.
Run a
tractor.
jackhammer.
Yeah, and so, I mean, all your alleys, your gravel,
Yeah,
trying to do with a tractor is not
I would agree.
feasible,
Yeah.
especially an alley, there ain't nowhere.
That's what I'm just saying, like, I mean, you've brought it up a couple times, like, used skid loaders around here that someone's gonna get in are being traded for a reason.
Yes,
They are
be done.
junk, absolutely. It's like, you're gonna be pretty hard pressed to find another used one. I don't know what year this is, and I don't know how often this guy trades, but,
Yeah,
2020 is the.
okay, is it?
used one.
Yeah, that's
Okay.
true, yeah.
Oh, yeah, you're right, yep.
So the skid loader itself is the 36,000, but then you add the additional
Yeah.
stuff to it. And the same for the comparison to the new one, that one doesn't really say what,
What the actual price is, but
yeah,
I'm
you have to
guessing
do the
it's,
math.
seems like it's 13 grand higher,
Yeah, because
Give or
all
take.
the,
12.5 or
all
about.
the additional stuff is the same price that I see. So, and, this one is a 23, but basically, you know, it includes full warranty and government pricing, and
How long
I
is the
doubt
warranty
it.
on the machine?
so basically it's at dealer cost, so.
good that, Jason's been dealing with this, I don't know what the warranty would be on.
I guess I mean, so, do we wanna, so this is just on other business for tonight, so do we wanna
Yeah,
put
yeah,
it,
approve
put it
that.
on the agenda for next council meeting, or what's,
Or just hold off and continue looking,
Or
it
what's-
doesn't,
what's everybody's?
How long are they gonna hold this?
Then that is usually.
That's what I'm saying, like,
Yeah,
they will hold it to July 1 if we commit to it.
yeah, we gotta make a decision on it again. But we say hold it till July 1, or maybe something comes in before then, we don't know that.
Mhm. I'd be curious on what the warranty is. My opinion, if it's 10, 12, 13,000 more for brand new with warranty, virtually no hours, I don't see an issue jumping into a new one. It's not double the price.
and we have looked at he's looked at other
Bob.
implement dealers too.
Yeah, and Matt wants to try to keep it at Kuhnhausen.
Yeah, I get that, oh, absolutely. Yeah, I absolutely do too.
He looked at some Bobcats, he just, it's not even worth even looking at them.
Okay.
That was 25 years old, that there can't be any warranty left on that thing. I can't imagine.
But I doubt it.
I doubt it
2020,
too.
doubt it.
And when we bring that thing out, the jackhammering, the use it's gonna be fairly aggressive use.
Yeah.
When it's getting put to it's not like I don't know, whatever the hell a farmer would use it for, moving hay bales, cleaning out shit pens, whatever, day-to-day use, small stuff. When we bring it out, it's gonna be
So you use,
used.
There's been how many occasions already that if you had one this year, I mean, it's like,
Well, I don't deny that it's, I mean, it's a new, I mean, how many water main breaks have you had to? It's gonna take a lot of water, I mean, I'm just saying, like, I've seen probably how many in the past year.
3 this year, so.
Exactly.
4 this year, and we've had to have Buck come and do the jackhammer and every one of them.
Yeah, I don't know what that costs, but
So
sooner or
it's
later,
about $500 some each time.
Every time.
sooner or later, it's gonna, I mean, sooner or later, it's gonna, the cost of renting, it's gonna outweigh the cost of.
Yes.
Right.
I mean, we don't have to make a decision, it's not a decision. It's just-
No,
It's here, it's
we can
available.
keep it on here.
Yeah. Yeah, I
I mean, as
mean,
long as they're willing to hold it to July, I mean, we'll see, I don't know, we nothing better comes in before July, I'm gonna buy it, you know what I mean?
Right.
Something like that.
Right. I don't have an issue, I guess let's keep it on there,
Yeah.
and then we can kind of just keep
Yep.
Keep
updating,
updating.
yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's probably the best way to.
Good.
And it's been hard too, we've been, you know, having a hard time getting everybody here, so it's hard to kind of go
No.
over everything, so. Get everybody's input on it, so.
And then trying to talk to some of them off, away from the council chamber.
Yeah, it's a battle, so.
We can check on the warranty though, that'd be better.
Yeah, just
Yeah.
curious on what a warranty is. I mean, I'm
On
assuming the worst
both of them,
attachment.
or just all of them, and even if
Just a
there's
new- like a new
new
one.
one? Okay.
Yeah, cause I was just assuming running a jackhammer is probably the hardest damn thing on those
Yeah.
machines. And if that's kind of the main,
That's what, yeah.
that's what we're doing is fixing streets and repairing stuff and trying to do it on our
Get
own.
under warranty and everything.
You bust a cylinder or hose or whatever, I don't-
And
whether or not that's covered, I have no clue, or a
Right.
weld or.
Yeah, oh, that's very valid, so. Okay, we'll keep it on there,
Okay.
we'll keep updating that, so. Then last one, RFQ, the grid grant update. What's,
Well, I know, I think I've told you guys in the past week, we don't even know when this grant is gonna open up yet, but when we did agree to go out for qualifications, we received a decline from DGR, cause timeline, they didn't wanna submit their qualifications. But we did get a solid one from SEH, so I guess Amanda wants to know if we wanna take a chance and go out for more again, or are we gonna be satisfied with excuse me, the work they can do for us. So I know it's a lengthy presentation that they got in their RFQ, but if you wanna just take time to look it over, maybe talk it over with Ray for those of who on the electric committee or whatever, just kind of give Amanda some guidance on what we think. It doesn't have to be decided within the next meeting or two, just kind of stay on top of it, so
what's,
once it does open, we're prepared to.
yeah. I mean, we have one, so yeah, we, you know, worst case scenario, we move forward with the one. I mean, what's Amanda's take on it? Should she have
She said
any
she's been
recommendation or?
successful going out again, but, you know, everybody's
Yeah, it's different.
everyone's different, so.
I mean, if we're not beholden to a, you know, a hard deadline, I don't have an issue with going back out to see if we can get any other ones.
And if anybody wants to take this home and look it over, it's kind of, it's nice and colorful, we couldn't scan it, but yeah, they did a great presentation, so. Just wanted to put that in the package, to keep us aware that's still on.
Okay.
Other than that, I don't think I have anything else.
Okay. All right. Anybody have any other business? Okay.
Oh, I did want to say, second thought, mentioned earlier before the meeting that May
Oh,
26th
yeah.
is
Yeah.
Memorial Day. In the past, we've just always scheduled it for that Tuesday night, so instead of,
Yeah, we'll just bump it back a night.
we want to plan on that.
Yep. Everybody good with that? Okay. All right, unless there's any other discussion needed or other business, I will ask for a motion to adjourn.
I'll make a